start, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies. Welcome to the Star of Election Night in America 2023, or America Votes 2023. I'm your host, Cameron Scott. Cameron Scott, what can we say at this moment? Well, with the polls mostly closed in Kentucky, with the last poll in the western part of the state closing at closing in about 6 minutes. 6 minutes, we can say this for sure. Beshear is off to an early lead. Beshear is off to an early lead. Let me just pull up the graphics for you so we can give you the up-to-date returns. I will let you know ahead of time that the returns may be delayed on my end because I'm using manual graphics, in which which unfortunately means I'll have to do myself because I do not have a co-host unlike previous evenings in which would help me input the returns. So I'm doing this solo, so if anything, so there's an issue or anything, my apologies ahead of time. I'm literally just doing this by myself. I do not have any help doing this. If it's taking a while, so let me just do this. Here's the returns. Raw screen, of course. Here's the returns. 62%. Let me just do it in full screen for you. 62%. Current results, well, not really the current results per se. 62% to 38%. Governor Andy Beshear, 85,833 votes. Daniel Cameron, 52,718 votes. 18 votes, and those returns I'm currently looking are rapidly coming in. Kentucky's votes rapidly coming in, already 12%. And I'm going to make an update in the slide when I get a chance. 102,659 votes for Beshear, 66,591 votes for Cameron, 60.7% to 39.3%. 3% are the results that are currently ongoing. Now, before we continue with the election, again, the returns in Kentucky are starting to rapidly come in. Most of the state's polls closed at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. This is not the only election. In about 3 minutes, the polls in Virginia will close. Of course, the state legislature is up for state legislature. Both houses are up for election. Democrats are hoping that they can hold on to the state senate and regain the state house of delegates, which they lost in the 2021 election cycle, in which they also lost the governorship, the attorney generalship, and the lieutenant governorship. At 7:30, the polls are closed in Ohio. 2 amendments to watch. One, the abortion amendment. And two, the legalization of marijuana. At 8 p.m., the highly watched race in Mississippi will have their polls closed, but maybe not in all precincts, mainly because of this fact. In Hinds County, the largest county in the state, home to the mostly black population of Jackson, at this time, 9 precincts in the county have ran out of ballots. The polls close at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, I should say 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. But at this point in time, we do not know if there's a court order that will let the polls in Hinds County stay open. Because Mississippi, unlike a lot of states, does not have early voting. Just give me a second while I make these edits to the results, because again, these results are just pouring in from Kentucky. Please give me a second. Again, I'm sorry. I'm doing this by myself. I do not have anyone helping me with these slideshows. Believe me, if I did have some help, I would have taken it. And the results, really, right now I'm editing it, more returns are coming in. It's gonna be like this every evening, folks. If you see me like not talk for a bit, it's either A, I cannot get the words out right, or B, I'm currently editing these slides. Because again, no help. And there's gonna say something says difference, but I'm not gonna do that. Because again, I'm already behind. I'm already 30 minutes late to the stream, and frankly, we just do not have time for it. I don't know why I was going to put up the slideshow, but the slideshow is not working for some reason. It's still processing. Well, the polls have now closed. There's an updated ticker. All polls are closed in Kentucky. Governor Beshear has a large lead, earlier, might add, against the current Attorney General Daniel Cameron, mainly because Louisville's results have came in and Fayetteville's results have came in. At this point, only 20% of Fayette County has reported results. That's home to Lexington. That's home to the University of Kentucky, I believe. Louisville. There's county in the state again. Only 60% of the votes in. At this point, the numbers. Let's put up on the screen for you. The numbers. Yeah, here you see there. See there. 13% of the votes in. Andy Beshear, 111,610 votes. Daniel Cameron, 45,687 votes, 59.6% to 40.4%. Again, those numbers will change. We also have been kind of commission. My computer may need to be replaced because the battery just randomly started dying quickly. It went from like 20% to 6%. So if you see me rushing my cord, if we lose connection, know it's because my computer randomly died. It literally goes from 20%, and usually it's a gradual climb, a gradual decrease before it hits 10%, and then 6% before it tell me, hey, you might want to plug up your computer. It's literally 20% and then 6% computers going haywire. And also, the polls are closed in Virginia. How did I forget that? The polls are also closed in Virginia. Okay, now we're speaking about Virginia, which again we were going to take a quick look at right now. Give me a second. Here's how the balance of power stands right now. The current balance of power stands pre the election. We used this using CN analysis numbers. In the Virginia Senate, the balance of power is this: 19 for the Democrats, 15 for the Republicans. Those are 6 seats that are toss-up seats, that are competitive seats. Democrats just need 2 of these to gain the majority. I should say to retain their majority. In the Virginia House of Delegates, 100 seats, all 100 seats are up for grabs. 46 Democrats, 39 Republicans. Currently in seats rated likely, if not safe seats. However, this is not the case for, for those in competitive seats. In the House of Delegates, 15 competitive seats. Democrats need just 5 seats to gain back the majority. While Republicans they're going to lose 4 because, if I'm not mistaken, Winsome Sears breaks the tie in the Senate, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to be right back. Give me a second, folks. Saliva killing me again. Pardon me. Okay, I'm back. My apologies. Okay, Fayetteville, 57% of Fayetteville's already reporting a return, so returns. Okay, now let me just give me a second so I can update this map. God, I wish I had some help. me a second, folks. I gotta update these returns. Give me a second. Okay, so let me just add these returns. Is 59.9% for Beshear, 40.1% for Cameron. 189,595 votes for Beshear, 126,911 votes for Cameron. 22% of the votes in most of Fayette County, which is where Lexington is, has reported their returns, 57% to be exact. Louisville, 22% reported their returns. Again, we have yet to hear from all the big cities. In Virginia, the returns are not in yet, however, we can say this. Again, Democrats need two. They need 2 seats in the state legislature. They need to. Well, I'm sorry. Let me work it the other way around. Pardon me. Republicans need to win at least 6 seats to gain control of the Virginia State Senate. Democrats need 5 seats in the Virginia House of Delegates to gain control of that delegation, which will make it difficult for the last 2 years of the Youngkin administration. I say last 2 years because Youngkin cannot run for his second term. That's Virginia law. He cannot run for a second consecutive term. He has to wait 4 years if he wants to run again. That was my practice for back in the day. And pardon me, I gotta charge my computer because my computer is rapidly dying. I don't think I have that game booster on, but it's rapidly dying. Here we go. I need to get a better computer. If not one that doesn't, screw me over. One hundred 93,808 votes for Beshear, 134,437 votes for Cameron. That's 59% to 41%, with 23% of the precincts in. Okay, so see there, 193,838 votes for Beshear, 134,437 votes for Cameron, 59% to 41%. 22, it should say 23%. Again, these numbers, how crazy these numbers are, these numbers probably jumped up to like 25%, more likely. How heavy these results again? Because mind you, we've only heard from the eastern portion of the state, the eastern and central portion of Kentucky. We have not yet heard from the western portion of the state, the heavily Republican portion of the state. Say, in about 16 minutes, the polls will close in about 16 minutes, the polls will close in Missouri. Not Missouri, daggone, but Missouri, not Missouri. I am so sorry. I did not mean to say that. But the polls close in Ohio at 7:30 Eastern Time. because there's two referendums, the abortion referendum that has the entire eyes of the nation watching, to the point where CBS is going to break with their normal schedule around 8 p.m. Eastern and broadcast the returns, which is surprising because they never do that for off election years like this, like Kentucky or Louisiana or Michigan. They didn't do it in 2019. They didn't really do it in 2020. Well, not really. 21 that was different because, of course, nobody expected the basically a miniature red wave to sweep across Virginia, and not to mention the state legislature in New Jersey, in which Murphy almost lost re-election to Jack Ciarelli. Yeah, barely any updates, no significant updates from Kentucky and the governor's race there. Not really many updates in the House of Delegates. And the polls in Mississippi close in about 45 minutes. About 45 minutes. Okay, now here are the returns. Sorry for that, folks. I've been I'm doing this show alone. This is me, myself, and I. I'm sorry about that. It's me, myself, and I. We're the only person doing this. Government system, doing this by myself. So bear with me. I'm sorry for seeing I'm dozing up. I know why I feel like I'm dozing up because I went to bed early. So again, bear with me, folks. And I hear the return. Sorry about that. 20% of the votes in, 200,133 votes for Beshear, 442,128 votes for Cameron, 57.9% to 42.1%. Yeah, I'm sorry for it looks like I'm dozing up. I really apologize. Don't know what's going on with me. Returns in Kentucky are still coming in. With the exception of the rural counties in Lexington, i.e. Fayette, the polls numbers are coming in rapidly, that's for sure. It's only been an hour that the polls closed the entire state. But core of the precincts are already in. Already in. Yeah, we kind of have a clear idea of who may win this. Mainly, Beshear has the advantage. He has the urban book to count on. He has Louisville. He has Lexington. He has the three major counties in another part of the state that are by him. That he can rely on. You simply just don't know. If you don't know, of course, in about 10 minutes we should know the first returns from Ohio. That competitive race which just caught the eyes and attention of the nation. Senator Casey has two important referendum, one on reproductive rights and two on and a second on marijuana. Marijuana, the legalization of marijuana. Pardon me while I add this. Kentucky on the race 26% is in 213,122 votes for Beshear, 157,956 votes for Cameron, 57.4% to 42.6%. I noticed it's 42.2%. I apologize. Those are the numbers at this time. Now, I want to make a point about Mississippi. Now, at this point in Mississippi, the polls are still open. If you're watching this here from Mississippi, I urge you to go vote. But at the last second, someone hitting a fly triggered the president's fight response. It almost. Sorry about that. Damn it. I'm embarrassing myself right now. Okay, I may need to take a quick break and get something in my system to get myself back in order because I don't know what's going on with me right now. You know, I was interjecting a few minutes ago before going on the air. Now all of a sudden I'm slurring my words and stuff. I don't know what's going on. I apologize for that. I went to bed early and everything. I don't know what's going on with me. Yeah, 29% of the votes in for Kentucky governor, as you can see here on screen. 29% of the votes in. Andy Beshear, 242,270 votes. 457,956 votes for Cameron, 58.1% to 41.9%. I get the decimal points for this. 57.9% to 41. 57.9% to 41.2%. Instead of 57.8% to 42.2% because the numbers just resume. I'm probably going to take a quick break in order to get myself together. Because I don't know what's going on with me right now, so then I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, we will have the polls closed in Ohio, and all eyes of the nation will be on that state and their abortion and marijuana referendum. Stay tuned. Okay, we are back to polls and have now closed in Ohio. Let me just update that for you now. Because I have missed a lot of results. 34% of the precincts are in Kentucky. Give me a second while I put these new numbers in. $55.5, 44.5. Let me just share for all of you. 55.5, 44.5 in favor of Beshear. 275,725 with Beshear. 220,762 with the Cameron. 34% of the precincts in. In Virginia, 20 Democrats currently stand elected, 14 Republicans stand elected, 4 state Democrats, 4. Now, in Ohio, the polls are closed. The polls are just closed. No results on the amendment. Sorry, we're taking so long. I've been trying to look for my charger case in my earbuds, but I can't find them. Okay, folks, we have projection. We are now making this call based on evidence by looking at the trends and looking at the numbers that still remain. We have a projection. Please stand by. AGN has the following projection. And the KPPC can make this projection. Pardon me. Again, I'm doing this by myself, folks, so please do not judge me. We're now making this projection. Andy Beshear will win re-election in Kentucky's gubernatorial race. We're saying that with only 34% of the votes in, we're saying that he will win re-election based on the current trends from their outstanding. We believe that there's just simply no chance. There is simply no path to victory for Daniel Cameron. Daniel Cameron will lose this election. Andy Beshear will win this election. The margin of victory, too early to say, but we can say this at this point in time. Andy Beshear will be reelected. According to the call from LTE, Let's Talk Election, Andy Beshear wins re-election. And one of the reasons LTE, Let's Talk Election, making this call is because simply this: Lee County in the last election went for Matt Bevin by the previous governor by 32 points. By 32 points. Now, at this moment, Cameron only leads by 8 points. Those are one of the reasons that they've been able to make this call. To repeat, Andy Beshear will win in this election. He will win re-election to his seat. Kentucky is called. The New York Times has not called it, but based on but David Wasserman has called it. Redistrict has called it. Let's Talk Election has called it, and now we're calling it. And this is extremely early. And according to Let's Talk Election quote, we are now calling the Kentucky governor's race for Andy Beshear very early night in a huge overperformance. Indeed, with 34%. So now, we're, pardon me, we're waiting on the first returns from Ohio to come in so that we can call it. I'm currently looking on tour right now. Here's something interesting that makes a lot of good points according to this user, a grad student at Kennedy School, Brent Peabody. This year alone, in 2023, Democrats have won in Jacksonville, Florida, a state that the Democrats got crushed in last year. Colorado Springs, usually conservative area of Colorado. The Wisconsin Supreme Court, and now Kentucky. Okay, and I wait. Hold on. I think we got the first return from Ohio. We do. We do. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. We do. Let me a second to put these in, folks. Hold on. We call this election for Beshear. If you just joined us, that's why your ticker is going on the board. You call this election for Beshear. Now we're about to put in the first returns for this constitutional amendment. For a second, so we can put these returns in, folks. Please bear with me. Again, I'm doing this solo. Now at this point, Ohio issue 1. I'm gonna give you the returns right now. 6% of the votes and 158,937 votes for yes on the constitutional right to abortion amendment, issue 1. 81,698 votes for no, 34%. It was for no, which is 34%. 66% for yes, 34% for no. Issue 2, 100 is a lot closer. 137,186 votes for no. For yes. For yes. One hundred 1,396 votes for our no. Let me just put this onto the screen for you, ladies and good gentlemen folk. Just put this on the screen for you, as you can see here. Amendment 1 for abortion, 6% of the votes in, 66% for yes, 34% for no. Again, too early to call. We got with more votes in. Same with Amendment 2, marijuana legislation. I forgot to add that. It was supposed to be 6%, 57.5% for yes, 42.5% for no. At this point in time, New York Times is saying that the amendment is very likely to pass, but again, Beshear. Can we just pulling this up? Beshear, of course, wins re-election. Election birth numbers come in. Now, in about 13 minutes, the polls close in Mississippi at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then Texas at 8 p.m. Eastern. And why we say Texas? Well, mainly because of this. Mainly because we're keeping an eye on the election in Houston. Two longtime politicians will be likely heading for a runoff. They will be representing Sheila Jackson Lee, who's been in the House for almost 30 years, and longtime state senator Jack Whitmire in Texas. Um, no, at this point in time, they're saying that now, for some reason, New York Times brought out the needle for the proposition issues, but not for the election issues. But right now, Beshear wins re-election. He wins re-election. We are saying at this point in time, he will win re-election. Current numbers has it as 54% for Beshear, 42% for Cameron. However, we believe that once all the votes are in the count, Beshear will win. Of course, a lot of you have the eyes on Kentucky. I mean, not Kentucky, but Mississippi. Now, from someone who lives, not lives, but has family that lives in Mississippi, what is the key for Presley to get the victory? One, he needs to turn out the black vote. The black vote is key. Two, 60 to 70% turnout among African American voters should help tighten up the gap. Two, he needs to do well in some of these areas that are slowly trending left, such as DeSoto County, which is a media county just south of Memphis. A lot of people who live in Whitehaven go to South Haven for shopping, to go out to eat, etc., etc. South Haven is a major market. I'm sorry, not major. South Haven is a major suburb. Now it's one of the fastest growing counties in the state. In fact, it grew by 18%. Like what? Couple decades ago, on about 60,000 people live in DeSoto. Now it's home to nearly 200,000 according to the last census. Two, where does Presley also need to do? He needs to perform well. He needs to perform in Lee County. He needs to somehow win in Lee County. He needs to get his numbers. He needs to keep it close and forward. He needs to have at least 40. He needs to get at least 40% of the vote in the Gulf County, specifically Harrison and Jackson. And speaking of in Jackson County, speaking of Jackson, he needs to Hinds County, Madison County, Rankin County. Those are keys to victory for him, along with of course winning in Lafayette County, which is where the University of Ole Miss is, and Octiba, Octibeha. I cannot pronounce this county, but is OKTIBBEHA. That's where Mississippi State is. That's where Starksville is. So he needs to run up those margins there in order to keep it at least close to potentially pull out the biggest upset in the Deep South we've seen since Doug Jones was elected senator in 2017. Now, 8% of the precincts are in. In Ohio, and 10% actually. Okay, more results are coming in. Mainly these are coming from the urban areas like Franklin, Hamilton, Lorain County, Stark County, Columbiana County, Mahoning County, Trumbull County, Ashtabula County. Which is this is surprising. The Starks County is voting yes. Again, it's only 20% of the vote, but Starks County is a heavily Republican county, if I'm not mistaken. So the fact that the early vote shows yes leading 60 by nearly 2/3 is surprising. And hold on, let me shut up because I got a lot of boards because at this point in time, uh, you need to say a lot of returns are coming in. It's only 10%, but still. Now at this point in time, we are seeing some split voting going on. We're seeing some of these candidates that are voting yes on abortion, vote no on marijuana. And Jesus, okay, I can barely even put in the return because it's so much. It's like 13%, 14% already in. Shit. There we go. I was trying to do something with these numbers because it was. Give me a second, folks. Hold on. we have the first returns in? Hold on. We have some new results in. Give me a second, folks. 50. Here's our Amendment 1, the abortion amendment. 15% in. 351,662 votes for yes. 33.8% for no. 361,662 votes for yes. 204,783 votes for no. And I need to add that it was supposed to be green, though it was green. Apparently not. And Amendment 2, 15% is also in. 57.8% voting with 313,390 votes for yes. 220,147 votes for no. 57.8% to 42.2%. 2% at this moment in time. And at this point, 16% is in. Most of the candidates are just coming in. At the same point in time, I'm just saying it's just Ohio issue 1 election was established a constitutional right to abortion is currently leading by nearly 2/3 exactly. Which means that if that referendum had passed in earlier this year in Ohio, which is going to raise the threshold for constitutional amendments from 50 to 60 from simple majority, 50 plus 1 to 60%, then it is likely this abortion bill will pass. Now, according to the New York Times, for both of these races, it is, again, way early. It's only 60%. 50 is both issue 1 and issue 2 are likely to pass if the current trends continue. Okay, and just checking Ohio here. Most of these candidates are reporting majority of the returns. They're in the higher 80s, 90s, if they're plus more than 95 by E, means that almost all the returns are in. Again, and it's now 7 p.m. and the polls have officially closed in Mississippi and in the mayor race in Texas. The polls are now closed. Again, it's extremely early. Okay. We got an update here. Hold on, pardon me. Breaking news. According to CNN, in the 9 precincts, now if you don't know, if you're just joining us, here's what happened. In the 9 precincts in Hinds County, the most Democratic county in the state, the largest county in the state, home to the state capital of Jackson, and is a majority black county, 9 precincts ran out of ballots during the election today. This means that as a result of this, a court has ruled that the precincts can stay open, the affected precincts can stay open until 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm typing this in right now. These 9 Hinds County precincts will remain open until 9 p.m. Eastern Time, a judge rules. So if you're in Hinds County and you live in the 9 precincts that you were affected by, they ran ballots during the election today. You have an extra hour to go vote. So go out and vote, cast your ballot, and then of course come back here with us, okay? And currently 18% of the precincts are in Ohio. And the right to abortion, actually, I'm gonna say, to hell with to hell with the slides. To hell with the slides. I will only use the slides if I need to use one of my projection codes. I'm not doing this crap where I gotta input the results myself. Okay, I'm only one man. I do not have help in that department. So I'm just gonna use the New York Times like every other person does. So yeah, So that's what I'm gonna do. Dude, if you don't like it, oh well. I'm just tired of doing this crap by myself. It irritates me. Here we go. Ohio issue on election results establish a constitutional right to abortion, currently 65.2% to 34.8%. As you can see, what's fueling it? Portage, Cuyahoga County, which is where Cleveland is, Lucas County, which is where Toledo is, Franklin County, which is leading 79-21. It's also interesting to note these are large margins, and mind you, none of these counties, only a couple of these counties, only have a core of the precincts in. Not 30%, not 40%, only a core. So for the numbers to be this strong, like Franklin County, 79% to 21%, to be this strong with only a core of the precincts in, there's a reason why New York Times is saying the issue is very likely to pass. And if that's the case, that means every issue which would establish a right to abortion in the state's constitution or protect the right to abortion in the state's constitution has passed. Kansas held one, which shocked us all. Michigan had one in the 2022 election that easily passed. California, obviously, that passed in that state. And Kentucky had a referendum last year that will remove protections for abortion. That narrowly went down to 52-48. Virginia, we still don't have a call. Nobody has reached the 51 seats that they need for election in state senate, and state senate still too early to call. Again, Democrats just need 2 seats for the state senate. Need win 2 seats for the state senate. Republicans needs to win at least 5 of these competitive seats in order to gain control of the state legislature. And it's obvious that with the abortion, it seems like there's some cross balloting going. There's some vote splitting going on, i.e., where it seems like there are people who are voting overwhelmingly yes on abortion, but these same counties are voting no. As you can see here, this region of eastern Ohio, while it's currently split on abortion, these counties are all nearly trending no on abortion. Same with in this region right here. It seems like more returns just came in. So yeah, 64.9% for yes, 35.1% for no. Cuyahoga County, 78-22. Franklin, 79-21. It's 65-35 are the returns that we're currently looking at right now. Right now. Mississippi, the polls just closed. We do not know how the election will go because we do not have any returns in. But if anything, but again, if Mississippi somehow, some way goes blue, it will be the first time that a Democrat has been elected in Mississippi since 2000, not even 2002. I think the last time a Democrat was elected was over 20 years ago. Last time there was a Democrat governor in the race. And decision just issued makes it official. Andy Beshear wins. Sorry for the silence, by the way. I'm just trying to keep up to date with all the return. I'm looking on social media to see if any of these sites have made calls or have any updates on the return in Mississippi. Because we have no word how high turn was in Mississippi today. Elliott County has gone to Beshear. If you don't know, Elliott County, that was a county that voted for decades, if I believe a century, straight for Democrats up until Donald Trump ran for president, and now as a result, here we are, Democrats winning. So at this point, okay, I don't know what's going on. Is anyone else dealing with like delayed Twitter, with delayed updates to Twitter? Like they're not getting the notifications that they should be getting for like their races and stuff. Or I should say their the returns and stuff. 'Cause I have not been getting. I don't know because I have freaking ad blocker on or something. Maybe it's that. Maybe that's screwing me. Maybe let's try that. Yeah, like Bashir is just doing terribly. Bashir is just doing terribly. He's doing terribly in some of these heavily Republican counties that just not 4 years ago went for Bevin by a large margin. Like for instance, in the Industrial Coal County, I think Breathitt is currently going for Bashir, and that means that he swung the county 20 points to the left. Yeah, it's now I see why they called it so early, and not even an hour after the polls closed. Still waiting for more returns to come in from Pennsylvania. I mean, not Pennsylvania, Mississippi. Um, I say Pennsylvania because I thought, oh, for some reason I was going to put Pennsylvania as a competitive mayor's race, except it was like, that's stupid because Pennsylvania is like heavily Democratic, so it's been stupid. Yep, it was definitely was my freaking or ad blocker that result in me not having these results updated. So yeah, 5 DDH Decision Just HQ has called it. Um, I'm currently like going between everything. Okay, now we can tell you this in Rhode Island's first district. No surprise on this call. Rhode Island's first district, Gabe Amo has become the first Black representative to represent Rhode Island in Congress. Gabe Amo in the special election to replace the Dave Cicilline, who resigned from Congress in order to take another position in the private sector. He has won his race. Gabe Amo, who beat the incumbent lieutenant governor and several other opponents in the primary earlier this summer, wins. And also, I can say this for certain: turnout is extremely heavy. I mean, it was not turnout, but is in Ohio. What I'm seeing here, it seems like we may be nearing. I won't be surprised if we start. If some of these networks start making calls in Hamilton County. I won't be surprised if they start making calls in Hamilton. Well, not Hamilton County, but Ohio. Okay, let me see. The variables. Yeah, I think I've seen enough. I think I've seen enough in Ohio. I think I'm going to make a projection in Ohio. Please stand by. As you can make this call, we're saying that Amendment 1 will pass. In Ohio, we are saying that Amendment 1 will pass. In the state of Ohio, we are saying this based on the fact that as of this moment, saying that we are making this call based on the outstanding votes that are estimated by the New York Times. We are saying that Ohio will vote yes on Proposition 1. This means that Ohio has established a constitutional right for abortion in the state. Repeating, KPPC can project that Ohio will vote yes on Proposition 1, which will establish a constitutional right to abortion in Ohio's state constitution. And we did right before LTE, Let's Talk Election, called it. So yeah, issue 1 is a big one for Democrats, a big one for pro-choice activists, and yet another loss for the pro-life camp, that they have yet to win a single. I repeat, they have yet to win a single pro-life vote. Well, I mean, with that, no state has rejected a constitutional amendment that would establish the right to abortion in any state that has happened so far. It has not yet happened in Ohio. It has not happened in Kansas. It has not happened in Michigan. It has not happened in California. It almost happened in Kentucky, but the people voted even in some rural areas against that. I believe that's now what, six, 5 or 6 wins for the pro-choice camp, for the pro-choice amendments, and 0 for the pro-life amendments. So yeah, issue 1 passes. Issue 2, however, we are not yet safe, and we are not yet ready to call it. But though it does look like that issue 2 could pass. However, we're going to exercise some caution. And now we have the first returns from Texas, and I can already tell you we're headed to a runoff in Texas. Give me a second. Give me a second, folks, to get everything booted up. There you are. Houston mayor vote is technically 30%, but I'm gonna leave it at 0 because frankly I was gonna do it at the beginning at poll closing, but Houston mayors were saying that Representative Sheila Jackson Lee will be heading for a runoff against longtime representative of Congress, has been in Congress for nearly 30 years, will be facing off against incumbent state for longtime state senator Jack Whitmire. Whitmire, we are saying this based on the return that just came in, based on the returns that just came in, from Texas, in which 30% of the precincts are already in, and Whitmire and Lee are the only candidates with more than 10,000 votes. All the rest of the candidates are trailing badly. Currently, the numbers are this: 59,750 votes for Whitmire, 48,572 votes for Jackson Lee, 9,788 votes for Gilbert Garcia, 9,750 votes for Jack Christie, 3,411 votes for Glee Kaplan. So Gilbert and Christie will surpass 10,000, but nobody will be coming close to Whitmire and Lee, who will be facing off in the runoff this November. And we finally had the first return from Mississippi. Currently, it's nothing really to speak of. It's only one county, and I'm assuming one precinct. 56.4% for Reeves, 41.3% for, 56.4% for Presley, 41.3% for Reeves, and 2.4% for Gwendolyn Gray, who ironically is an independent who dropped out a few weeks ago, but is still on the ballot. So Gwendolyn Lee, what the hell am I doing? Why am I not sharing my screen? Give me a second, folks. My apologies. I'm an idiot. So in Mississippi, you're seeing this. Gwendolyn Gray, this candidate dropped out a few weeks ago, but her name is still on the ballot. So theoretically, she could get enough votes to where she could send both candidates to a runoff after Thanksgiving. As you can see there, neither candidate could 50% threshold to win. There will be a runoff on November 28th. And God help Mississippi, because that means you're going to have more campaign ads. God help you. There he is, as you can see there on your screen right there. Again, too early to call. We got a long way to go before we can even call this election. You probably wonder what am I looking for? I'm looking for my earbud case because frankly I know these earbuds will be dead on arrival when I get back into my room after we wrap up the election night here, which will hopefully be in about an hour or two, depending on how the returns go. We already called issue 1. We already called issue 1 in Ohio. We called Kentucky for Andy Beshear. Called it for him. Actually, let me make the edits to those counties. Hold on. There you go. Okay, let me give you a recap of what happened in the past few, I'm going to say 30, 45 minutes. Andy Beshear has been reelected as governor of Kentucky. The margin is tightening as we speak. However, we believe that when all the votes are in the county, Beshear will be the winner in all the major sites such as Decision Just HQ, Let's Talk Elections, Dave Wasserman have all called Kentucky for Beshear. And the abortion issue in Ohio, yes, we are projecting will win. And the Ohio marijuana issue is currently too early to call. We are not yet ready to call this election in Pennsylvania. I'm not in Pennsylvania, but in Ohio concerning marijuana. It is currently likely that marijuana legalization will pass in the state, but at this point in time, it is simply too early to call. The reason why we made a call on issue one, the abortion issue, not issue two, on marijuana issue, because issue one, the trends were overwhelmingly in favor of the yes vote. It was about 2/3 in favor of yes, while currently it's kind of a lukewarm 56% to 43% for yes when it comes to the marijuana initiative. Ironically enough, if issue one, if the amendment to raise the threshold for constitutional amendment had occurred or had passed a few months ago when they attempted to do that, fun fact, it would have been all for naught because the abortion issue will have easily passed. They would have gotten that 60% vote threshold that they needed. Marijuana, on the other hand, probably not. Mississippi again, the first returns come in, really nothing to speak of because it's still too early to call. In the House of Delegates, we're going to go to CN Analytics. Okay, so I'm currently looking at some of the races. Okay, now here's what's happening. At this point, 44 seats, I'm going off CNN. 44 seats have been called for the Democrats, 35 have been called for the Republicans at this point. At this point, in the lower chamber, in the upper chamber, Democrats have been projected to win in 18 seats, while 14 seats have gone to the Republicans. Democrats, all they need is 3 seats, and they have the election. They need 3 seats, and they have the election. And they have the state senate. While in the lower house, Democrats, all they need is actually, let me share this tab. Okay, here's what I'm talking about right here, folks. Let me turn it on for you. There we go. In Virginia, let's show you what I'm talking about. Currently, this is the live data. You're looking at the live margins, all these seats. Now, here are the projected seats. Now, you probably won't be able to see it, which is my bad. Bad precincts in. The live margin in the 37, as you can see. Wow. It's very detailed. I didn't expect that. Now, currently, the margin 22 again. This district, currently the rank for this district was precincts in. All up precincts in D district. Again, this is from 2022. Here's some images. This is the 58th district. As you can see here, some of these precincts still we have not yet called, have not came in yet. But however, I'd say that it's looking. How many precincts are in? Majority of these precincts are already reporting the return, so I think we're close to a call being be made in this race because it could go any way. I'm referring these numbers closely, but give me a second. I was trying to regain my composure because I'm currently just look at these results. Sorry, just okay. Please tell Mississippi is counting the votes right now because this is getting ridiculous. Mississippi has not counted or not counting the returns. I don't know where they're getting this from because it's still stuck on like plus 1%. Let me show you. Yeah, it's still stuck on plus 1%. So I don't know where they're getting it from. Okay, Jefferson County is at 56% reporting. Wow, hold on. I gotta show this. Hold on. One vote. In Powell County, this county went from 5 points to Matt Bevany, incumbent governor, 4 years ago. In Powell County, Andy Beshear won by one vote. One vote. I'm currently looking through Twitter to find if there's any results coming. If there are any other sites reporting any new returns from our Okay, I'm hearing rumors saying that there is I'm hearing rumors saying that we may be getting ready to call, I believe. I mean, there may be a call getting ready to be and we're getting it. Yep, we're hearing that Democrats have just lost in the Republicans, I should say, have lost in the 16th district, um, in the state senate. What that means is, uh, that's basically game over for the Republicans, because they needed Virginia. they needed Virginia, the 16th district in Virginia. And we were saying, why are you saying? Okay, let's switch here. 16th district. No, that's not the same district. Okay, this is the same district that apparently flipped. New York Times is behind apparently, so I might have to switch. I might have to switch soon because they're behind apparently. Because this is flipped. Let's go to. Trying to currently look for it. Trying to look for the 16th district in the state house. What do you say the state senate? There he is. Here he is. Here he is. Here he is. See here. Here's the amount of votes remaining. Now, Van Walkenberg is leading by 21,000 votes. Now, projected remaining votes is about 25,000. I don't know if this was a Democrat or a Republican. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's still, but at the same point in time, this race has been called. Again, for those of you just joining, yeah, I'm gonna switch to from the New York Times because frankly, apparently their sites getting more information than them apparently because frankly, I'm trying to look at it, they're behind. They are extremely behind. Let me go switch to another site. Yeah, we have more returns. We actually have decent returns. Okay, so New York Times is goodbye. Mississippi general election. 2% of the precincts are in now. You can see there, DeSoto County first in at DeSoto. 43% of the precincts are in DeSoto. So now here's the thing. Again, this is early, only 2%. Where are the keys? You need to do well in Hinds County. You need to run up in Madison County. You need to run up in Rankin County. You need to win in Lee County. You need to win in Tippah County. You need to win in Lafayette County, wherever this county is. Where's Lafayette? There is Lafayette. Now we can already tell you, Democrats have clinched the state, Republicans have clinched both state houses as expected. Um, Okay, now they finally had the first return, and now they've updated the numbers in for the New York Times. Now here it is, the Southern County. 62% is in. Okay, Presley. Okay, he still has time. Presley needs to run it up in the Southern County or to somehow pull off a miracle. Again, I know it's very early. Literally, the polls just closed about 50 minutes ago. In Hinds County, the entire county, not just the North Queens, the entire county polls are still open. So we may not hear from Hinds County for about another for a few minutes, minutes. Yeah, I'm sorry if it seems like I'm rambling. It is because frankly I'm half tired for some reason, even though I went to bed early. Um, so right now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna get something to help me stay awake. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I think lengthy, longer than expected break. Still looking for my earbud case, which I can not find. So installing it on Bluetooth anchor under the sun. At this point, here's what we know. While we were on the break, all the networks officially called Andy Beshear the winner, even though we, along with Let's Talk Election or LTE, called it several hours before. Called it long before they did. Long before they did. Same with same when it came to issue one. Now issue two, it seems will pass. Issue two, we are projecting, will also pass. So both initiatives in Ohio on abortion, so mean that Ohio will have legal marijuana. Mississippi's results have, I believe, updated while we were gone. DeSoto County 86%, 40%. In the state legislature, we're saying that Democrats will hold on to the state Senate. According to the support from LTE, Democrats will hold on to the state Senate. And apparently SD30, Senate District 30 in Virginia has also been called for the Democrats. Now here's what that means. At this point, let me share this with you. This means in the Senate District 30, let me refresh this page. This has been called. Now, Dan Carone, just have instead turn you on instead of being anonymous. Dan Carone, you may know that name for 2019. She was elected to the House. If I'm not mistaken, she was elected to the House. Defeat a controversial. Now, Dana Carone, if his call is correct by LT, not only will she make history in 2017 by becoming the first openly transgender lawmaker elected anywhere in the country, I believe, in the American history, was the first openly out one. There have been several transgender politicians that have been elected in our history, but most, if not all of them, have been outed. So that means at this point in time, we are now Dan Carone, who's currently serving in the House of Delegates, will have just been elected to serve in the House in the state Senate, defeating narrowly Bill C. Wolf, meaning that Democrats will hold on. Will retain control of the Virginia State Senate. The update should come in. Democrats retain control of the Virginia Senate. So that's the calls we have at this moment. Let us check how much of the vote is in. This is updated about 10 minutes ago. Now our precincts are in 51%, 95, 95, 95. We can see the margins. These are projection margins. D plus 11. Projected margin of some of these seats. Plus 11. Right in 2022 is 6.3 now. The vote remaining, I mean, it's still theoretically possible for Wolf to come back, but it's not looking more likely. In fact, let's go scroll down here. Right now, as you can see here, according to CNN analysts, these guys are some of the best in the business. They have some of the most advanced information. Democrats have a 97% chance of taking the legislature. I mean, taking the state, holding on to the Senate. Only a 3% chance. Here's how the race went over time. Let's go to the forecast data. Now, and frankly, to be fair, Democrats at the beginning had the edge, and these recent returns have just put the nail in the coffin. Let's look at the lower house. In the lower house, Democrats currently have a 90% chance of winning the chamber in the House of Delegates, meaning that there will be a split legislature. I.e., what that means, there will be a split. I forget what it's called. Basically, where the Republican opposition, where the governor who's in power is now the same party as the legislature, which is in office. Basically, Minnesota was this. Minnesota had a split government. There is split government where they had control of the state house and the governorship, but they just didn't have or control of the state senate. Needs to say they did this time around. In 2022, same in Michigan, it was a split legislature. So yeah, in Virginia, I think it's clear to say the Democrats they've held on to all their gains according to this report, unless something sudden happens and something happens. Like turns out the data was input wrong or something. It seems that Democrats will gain back control of the House of Delegates and will hold on to the Senate. To this moment, it seems like Lee has decreased. Now, I'm looking at LT's number. It seems that his number, there's about 92, there's a major ballot outside of about 9,200 votes. But at this point in time, Lee has decreased by 1,100 votes. It's just been a chaotic day.
Exactly. Icarus, what race is Dan Cameron?
Kentucky.
Okay, we're just trying to see what's going on in the LTE server right now because, of course, they're currently watching the election returns as well as us. Beshear nearly wins the election. We're waiting for Virginia to come. I mean, not Virginia, but Mississippi to come in with their returns. I think that one thing with certain folks, I think I've just been sloppy all night. I think I'm going to call it a night. I will do a recap of the election results tomorrow. I will do a video tomorrow recapping the election results. Hopefully, I'm on my better A game. So this is Cameron Scott saying so long. And sorry about being off tonight.